photo for you, so if we don't have your email address, get with us after this, we'll make sure.
Anybody ready?
Yeah, let me get back.
Everybody ready? Okay. Thank y'all for being here. First of all, I'd like to give an update on our officer. He is doing much better from what I understand. He's still being treated at the hospital and will probably remain there for a while. We're not giving his name out, but he is doing much better. And as Chief Moore indicated earlier, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the two deceased that were employed at Walmart. You know, it's just a horrendous event that occurred today. At this point, the suspect's name is Martez Abram, M-A-R-T-E-Z-A-B-R-A-M. He is currently at the hospital, and he has been charged with 2 counts of murder at this point. Now, there can be some, I know, what about this, what about this, what about this? At this point, all we need on him is the 2 counts of murder to hold him in Memphis until he can be extradited back. Once his health improves enough to where he can be extradited back to DeSoto County. The charges may be upgraded at a later point, and some other charges may be added, but I want the investigation to be complete first. And as you were told earlier today, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is handling the officer shooting of the suspect, while the South Haven Police Department is actually handling the investigation into the 2 deaths and what happened inside the Walmart this morning. So the case is obviously still being investigated. There's not a lot I can say other than what I'm telling you right now, but we will go forward on it. We will begin, once we get information from the hospital that he is going to be released, we will begin the extradition process back to DeSoto County. And I will take a few questions at this point.
What are the reports about those potential fires inside the building?
There was a fire inside the building. That part of it will be looked at, and the way we work in Mississippi is once a crime is committed, we don't charge anybody. The grand jury charges them. So the entire case will be presented to the grand jury to include the fire inside the building.
Was it a small fire or a big fire?
I have not seen it, so I can't answer that question. It was in the store. It was in the back, the baby section, I think, isn't that right? Yeah, the baby section.
He was able to start a fire in the baby section of the building. How far was he able to get through before he started the fire?
I'm not sure I'm following.
How far was he able to get inside the store?
He was well in the store, and he was well inside the store for a few minutes. The officers got there within 3 minutes of the initial 911 call, but obviously they had to find him and find out what was going on.
And you talked about the suspicious package that you had to call, that the Mississippi authorities you had to call Shelby County Bomb Squad.
There was a suspicious backpack inside the building, but in an abundance of caution, the Shelby County Bomb Squad was called, and it ended up being nothing as far as that's concerned.
We know that Mr. Abram was a former employee. Do we know how long he had worked at the store and what his interaction had been? Was he recently terminated? Did he have a vendetta against anyone that he shot?
I can't answer that question. Obviously, this is all still under investigation. I can confirm he was a former employee of the store and had been recently terminated.
Can you tell us why he was terminated?
No.
Do you know the pathway the suspected shooter took? We know a body was located outside, another was located inside. What happened first?
We're reviewing all of the video evidence at this point to put together a sequence of events and a timeline. So I really don't want to speculate on that point until the video. And, of course, there are multiple cameras there, and I really don't want to get into that until we've had an opportunity to review all the video.
Do you know if a police report was filed for the incident in which led to his firing or discipline by Walmart?
There was an incident that had occurred a few days prior. A police report was filed, but neither the person in the store nor Walmart themselves wished to do anything with it. So a police report was taken by South Haven, and it was put on file.
Can you say more about that? He apparently pulled a knife. Is that something?
That's not accurate.
Okay.
That's not accurate.
If he was terminated, should there, if there was a list or something on security not to allow him back in the store, or was he allowed back in the store?
I have absolutely no idea what Walmart's security procedure was. No one
Does that
saw.
play a factor into it? I mean, whether or not he
I mean, you know, everybody's been to Walmart. That door opens, people go in and out. I mean, no.
did they have private security that may have seen him?
There was. I'm not sure I'm
Was
following.
there any private store security that may have seen him? Or
I have no idea as far as that's concerned. To my knowledge, there was no private security there. It's just a normal Walmart store.
We saw some cars being towed from the scene, potentially one of his. Do we know if he drove himself there?
Yeah, we know the vehicle he was in, and it was seized as evidence. Yes.
Can you tell us what weapons he used?
I'm not going to comment on any weapon.
Is there any reason to believe that he was acting with anyone else, or was he there by himself?
Not at this point. We believe he was by himself in the store.
Is there a belief that he targeted specific employees, bypassed some to target others?
You know, you're asking me to speculate, and I'm not going to do that.
Did you recover a weapon, sir?
Do what?
Did you recover a weapon?
There have been weapons recovered, yes.
And how many and where?
I'm not going to comment on that. That
Were
goes.
those weapons purchased legally?
I believe that the ATF right now is checking on that, and the weapons were purchased legally, yes.
John, was there any way to know, obviously it's an odd time of the morning, how many actual customers were in the store at the time that this took place?
No, I don't know. I mean, you know, that's just a counting process, and I have no idea. I can't imagine it being real busy at that point in time.
John, in some of the video that was taken this morning at the scene, you can see other people being put into ambulances. Are those just going to be like panic-type situations, or were there possibly more people injured?
No, no other injuries.
Sir, did you search his apartment, and can you tell us why?
I mean, obviously, it's part of the investigation, and yes, his apartment was searched.
And can you tell us what was recovered?
No,
Any weapons?
no,
No
Okay.
weapons were recovered.
no, I can't comment on what was recovered.
Does the suspect have any prior felony charges and history, violent history?
From the checking that we've done, he has absolutely no criminal history whatsoever.
His age? What's his age?
I believe he's 39.
He's from South Haven, lives in Suffolk.
He has a current address here in South Haven, and where he's from, I don't know.
Okay.
The incident you mentioned a few days prior, you said Walmart didn't want to do anything with it. You also mentioned the individual in the store. Was that a customer? Was this an incident with a customer?
No, it was not an incident with customers. It was an incident with an employee.
One of the employees that was killed today?
That I don't believe. We know that. We don't know that.
Can you elaborate any more on this incident with this employee?
All I know at this point is that he was in the store and had a knife in his belt and showed it to an employee, and the employee was concerned and called the police department and wished to make a report. To our knowledge, he did not threaten anybody with it. It was just he showed the knife, and that I'm going to speculate on this a little bit, but I assume that probably was one of the factors in him being terminated.
And do you know what day that was?
I don't have the report in front of me, so no, I can't give you the date.
Do you know if he's out of surgery at this point?
To my knowledge, he is, yes.
What's his prognosis? Where was he shot?
I don't have that.
A condition at this?
I don't have a condition, no.
Do we know which victim was shot where? We had reports that are confirmed that one person was shot outside the Walmart, somebody shot inside. Do you know which victim was outside when they were hit?
We know who both victims are, yes, and yes, that is accurate. One person was shot outside the store, and one person was shot inside the store.
Have you been able to talk to victims' families at this point?
They have been talked to, but I'm not discussing anything about the families.
Can you say who was shot inside, who was outside?
No.
What's been the contact that you all have had with Walmart corporate in all this? They've been very active today.
They have been. They've been very, very cooperative with us. Very cooperative.
Do you see any challenges in building a case?
You know, there's always challenges in building a case, but I mean, you know, if you look around and see who's here and the assets that we've had on scene all day, you know, I feel extremely confident we're going to get a very prosecutable case.
You believe you have your man, and you believe there was anyone else in this assisting?
I do believe we have our man, and I can't say at this point whether anybody else was with him. I do not believe that to be the case. But, you know, this just happened today, and we're still investigating.
Did you say when it was likely to be presented to the grand jury?
Oh, no, I can't speculate on that.
Have you talked to any friends and colleagues? Do they say anything that might have pointed to this type of behavior?
I'm not going to discuss who's been talked to. That's
anyone
part of
ever-
it's part of the investigation.
John, what does it mean to you to take on a case of this size? I mean, obviously, we've got national media here, and you're not unfamiliar with that. Just to kind of buckle down and get ready for something like this, how do you?
I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the national media, but you know, I mean, it's just it's a case. I mean, we have to take it. We're going to give it the same due diligence. We're going to give it the same preparation and everything else as we do with every case.
Did you have more ammo with him in the truck?
I'm not going to comment on that. That's going to the evidence, and I'm not going to comment on that.
Was more ammunition found?
I'm not going to comment on that.
You said weapons with an S. Do we have a number, or we're just going with weapons at this point?
Just weapons.
But there was an AR found at the scene?
I'm not commenting on that. I'm not commenting on any of the weapons, period.
Will you ask the ATF chief to help you in assisting in any way?
We don't have to ask. They were there this morning. We had ATF from Memphis and ATF from Oxford here, and all of our partners were here, and it's everybody's helping.
We do have one request. We do have one request for any potential witnesses that may have been there, may have had video, cell phone video, or witnessed any of this incident to please contact the South Haven Police Department, the FBI, any of our local agencies. Please contact us, and if you have anything to share with us on this incident, please.
Give a middle name, sir, for your suspect.
The only name I have at this time is Martez Abram. That's all I have at this point.
Your middle initial, sir.
I guess on that second sheet there.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't have my glasses.
I can loan you mine.
Okay.
Martez Terrell, Tarrell, Abram, Abram.
I'm sorry, could you spell Terrell?
Tarrell.
ELL.
How long do you anticipate for there to be presence at Walmart?
It'd be hard to speculate on that. I mean, we're going to do this very thoroughly, and it could be through later on today. It could be through tomorrow or the next day. We're going to make sure we dot every I and cross every T.
How many casings, could you give an estimate of how many casings were found on the scene?
No, I can't comment on that. That goes to the evidence in the case.
Mr. Champion, I mean, you have a man that's accused of workplace violence, and he has no prior. Can you talk about how perplexing that is for you and for this community?
Well, you know, it's anytime somebody loses their life is perplexing. I mean, workplace violence has unfortunately become a common everyday deal. Unfortunately, more and more homicides are becoming. I've had more homicides this year than I had total last year, and we're just still in July.
What's that number?
I don't want to go into all that. We've had more homicides this year than we've had total last year. Okay, and I won't say that we're up to, in my district, which is 5 county. You asked me for a number. I won't say it's close to 20 at this point throughout my 5 counties. So anytime somebody loses their life is perplexing. I mean, it bothers me greatly, and it has for the 26 years I've been here. But, you know, it's a fact of life, and it's something that we're going to have to continue to deal with. You know, there's only so much that we up here as officers and prosecutors can do.
Can you talk about workplace, this type of work?
I mean, to me, it's just because it happened at a particular place doesn't, I mean, it's a murder. It occurred at a workplace, so, you know, it's the same as any other homicide.
Can you identify the police officer who shot Mr. Abram?
No,
Was it the same one that is now in hospital?
I'm not going to comment on that.
Could you give the length of service for those 2 officers? Do we know how long?
We're not discussing anything about the officers.
Do you expect the officer who's in the hospital to get discharged soon, tomorrow?
Well, I would like to think so, but I'm leaving that up to the doctors. Any other questions? Thank y'all. Anybody else got anything, Mayor?
I'll take questions. I think DA's answered most of the questions. The purpose of this meeting this afternoon was, about the suspect. So I think he covered that well. But if there's anything from a citywide perspective, I'll be glad to answer that.
I know, Mayor, you said earlier about this morning about reaching out to the affected employees. Could you talk any more about those efforts? Is there something that you all have organized or anything else you can share?
Well, I've been in touch with Walmart officials today. They brought people in town from their home office. So they'll have an employee assistance program that's already underway. Obviously, from a city perspective, our employees have the same thing. So both of those are underway for both city and Walmart.
Anything you want to say about the South Haven community? I know it's a small town. I live nearby, not anything like this really ever happens. I know there's the hashtag going around South Haven Strong. Any message that you would like to give?
Well, I'll just, kind of piggyback on what I said earlier. This is an isolated incident. It was a grievance, with an employee and his employer. And so it's not something that, from a citywide perspective that we should be concerned about. Obviously, we're tremendously upset. We're sorry for the families and the friends of the victims, and they're in our prayers. That's the sad thing about today. But as far as there being, some alarm for the city of South Haven, no. This is something that could happen in any city in America. So it's unfortunate but true that, it's somewhat a sign of the times.
Since we last talked, you hadn't spoken with family members. Have you spoken with them now?
I have not. We have chaplains that have reached out, so they have been contacted, but that's not really my role. Any other questions? I guess we can wrap up. Anybody got anything else?
If we have any updates as far as the suspect goes, tomorrow or the next few days, maybe his extradition back or something, we'll let everybody know. Do a release on it. Thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all.
I'm fixing to go type something up real quick. Yeah, you need to give me yours. I don't have yours.
Y'all will do a sheet real quick and I'll sign it.
If anybody, I'm going to, local news, I'll be sending something to your news desk with a JPEG picture and a little bit of information, just what you heard today.